In the skies above the east, reports of mysterious drones.
Look, guys, there's one there, one there, one there.
Turning into thousands of posts going viral online.
Coming in one after one.
With people from coast to coast now spending a lot more time looking up and pointing their cameras into the night.
This is bizarre. There's more over there.
The drone sightings or UFO sightings over New Jersey just got even more crazy as it has now been confirmed that the FBI will be investigating this entire situation, as well as the government officials, of course the governor of New Jersey already stating and commenting on this, and the White House also commenting on this situation. It just goes from crazier to absolutely crazier. So this comes from NBC News, alright, and it states that the FBI are investigating the mysterious drone sightings over in New Jersey.
In the skies above the east, reports of mysterious drones.
Look, guys, there's one there, one there, one there.
Turning into thousands of posts going viral online.
Coming in one after one.
With people from coast to coast now spending a lot more time looking up and pointing their cameras into the night.
This is bizarre. There's more over there, look.
Some could be optical illusions, planes that seem closer than they are.
You can hear that one. That is definitely a plane.
But others have defied normal explanation.
What the f?
Car-sized drones operating for hours in restricted airspace and able to elude local law enforcement when they send their own drones up to give chase.
Now, obviously, this is what's interesting as well. All of these sightings have come literally within the last week. Okay, everybody in New Jersey right now is looking up to see what's going on. It is crazy.
In New Jersey, the Army reporting the Picatinny Arsenal has had 11 unauthorized drone incursions in the last month.
Look what's back again. Same spot as last night.
21 local mayors now demanding answers from the state.
The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. This is something we're taking deadly seriously.
The entire month before that, it was nightly drone incursions over Langley Air Force Base.
Let's just start with current events.
Today, a congressional hearing on Capitol Hill on the national security threat drones pose.
What is going on in New Jersey?
We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights.
But for those who see them on a nightly basis...
Not a plane. That is a drone in the airspace.
The drones are a very real reminder.
Almost hear a little bit of a hum.
That our airspace...
It's a very little thermal signature.
...is not as secure as we might hope. All right.
Now, of course, obviously, the major concern here is that we are looking at this situation, okay? And, you know, people... Although law enforcement are sending up drones to try and find out what's going on, to try and get, like, real insight into these drones or UAPs or whatever, they're evading capture. They can't be caught. We don't know who's sending them, whether it be from the UK, like from, you know, anywhere in Europe, whether it be Russia, whether it be China. You know, there was the whole incident last year with the balloons that went over, the surveillance balloons that were shot down over the US. Are these even of planet Earth? That's the question on everyone's lips. And everybody is talking about these drones over New Jersey right now.
SUV-sized drones in New Jersey. Dozens of reports. Seen near military bases, armories, civilian areas, over people's houses, properties owned by President-elect Trump. The FBI says they've been investigating it for a month. A month? But many, like my next guests, say the response has been tepid. What could they be, and how is this so hard to figure out? Joining us now is New Jersey State Senator John Bramnick and former defense and intel official who investigated UFOs for the federal government, Luis Elizondo. Thank you for having both of you here. I appreciate it. Senator, let me ask you, what do you make of how your requests to satisfy people's curiosity have been met by other officials?
Not very well. Either the government doesn't know anything, or the government is in a position where it's an embarrassment to the people of the state of New Jersey, because people already come to the table with distrust of government. This adds to distrust. And I'm deeply concerned that people are going to come up with conspiracy theories. You see them on the internet all the time. So this doubled down, and it double downs on the people who make up theories and also don't trust government. So it has a double whammy on government.
Have they told you anything, Senator, about what to say or what to think?
The only thing I heard is Governor Murphy did a press conference while he was signing another bill, and he indicated he wasn't concerned with the safety of residents. But the residents I represent are deeply concerned that they need a lot more information than a blanket statement that it's still safe out there. That's simply not enough. We're going to have a briefing tomorrow in Trenton, and I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say.
Well, you got a platform here to tell the country what you're finding out and what you're not finding out whenever you want it. Mr. Elizondo, it's good to have you again.
Now, of course, I'll be intrigued to hear what Lou Elizondo's got to say. Obviously, you know, he's had a lot to say over the past 6 to 8 months, especially since his new book dropped. He was obviously at the congressional hearings for UAPs earlier this year. Yeah.
What's your guess on this? I mean, look, the good news is you see a lot of navigation lights on these things. You see red and greens on a lot of these, which, you know, as you know, are familiar lighting that people put on drones over a certain size. What's your guess as to why there's so many over Jersey all of a sudden?
Well, Chris, surprisingly enough, it's not just over Jersey. Recently, over a few weeks ago, we had a very similar issue over Langley Air Force Base, one of our most sensitive military installations. And frankly, if you look back the last 4 or 5 years, there was actually a very similar occurrence back in Colorado, where for weeks, local and state law enforcement officials were chasing these things in the skies, almost doing a racetrack pattern.
Let's also not forget that there was RAF Lakenheath, which of course is a US military base here in the UK, which also, you know, had these kind of quote-unquote drone or UFO experiences over them. And we had the Manchester airport as well. These things have been popping up left, right, and centre all over the globe.
And no one seemed to know what the heck was going on. Actually, this is one of the very reasons why I decided to testify before Congress a few weeks ago, because quite frankly, we don't really have control of our U.S. airspace. We don't have awareness of what are in our skies.
Do you believe that the FBI has been looking for a month and doesn't have any answer about what these are when there's so many?
Well, I've worked with the FBI in the past, and they tend to be very, very competent when they're doing investigations. I do believe they have some answers. I don't think they have all the answers yet. What further makes this more complicated, you have an issue where these things are being seen over civilian airspace, so you have jurisdictional issues, right? You have, from a federal perspective, you have FBI leading the law enforcement investigation, but you also have the Department of Defense. You have folks like the U.S. Air Force and Office of Special Investigations. You have DHS and even the FAA. And so all these federal agencies, forget about even the state and local agencies, are trying to work together and try to deconflict what's in the skies. And unfortunately, they just don't seem to have a common operating picture right now of exactly what we're dealing with.
You think they're wrong about the size? Because, you know, it's not easy to find drones of any significant size on the commercial market.
Yeah, so here's the problem, Chris. Great point. We know that commercial drones tend to be a typical size, and they use a certain amount of power, if you will, and have a certain amount of loiter time, a certain amount of range. And typically can be anywhere between 15, maybe 20 minutes if you're lucky. And then you have to have line of sight in order to control these things. If you talk about anything bigger than that, you're really talking about a state-sponsored capability. This isn't a hobbyist. This isn't a drone that someone buys, let's say, from Radio Shack or buys from Amazon. This is something far more complex that can be flown beyond line of sight, i.e. over the horizon, and has a loiter capability in some cases of several hours. And if you're talking about an SUV size or larger potentially drone, this is a problem. Look, the U.S. Navy has been reporting these types of drones, in some cases the size of cars and even bigger, for years now. And this is exactly emphasizing the point why we need to take this topic seriously.
And that's actually quite a significant point made by Lou Elizondo, right? That, you know, these things are enormous and they have got some severe capabilities. So, you know, like, I had a drone. I couldn't fly it for more than 20 minutes and it was about this big, okay? And if I went out of range, it went boop, 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 and then flew back to me. Literally, like, and that was only about 30, 40 feet. The range was ridiculously bad. This thing is beyond current, capabilities that we are aware of. So that obviously is where the speculation comes in. And the fact that, the US, DOD and the FBI are kind of chasing their tails and they're not coming up with any answers, and it's just leading to more and more speculation, and the pot is turning and churning and churning. And now here we are. What do you guys think about this whole situation? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Do you think we'll ever get resolve on this? Or do you think that this is just going to become more of a widespread issue? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.